I want to tell you a story told by my ancestors hundreds of years ago. A story about the mighty god Odin, the Allfather, and the ruler of Asgard, one of the 9 realms and the home of the Aesir gods. If you know the story about the creation of life and all things, you may know that Odin, together with his brothers, was the god that created the world and the first humans, Asgard and Embla. Therefore, he's called the Lord of all things and the creator of heaven and earth and all within them. To gods and mortals alike, he's a father figure, powerful, admired, respected. But who is Odin really? Odin is a god of many gifts and contradictions. He is the god of war, death, wisdom, magic, runes, and even poetry. He's the firstborn Aesir, aka a war god. He is described as intelligent, ambitious, strategic, and cunning. You might expect such a leader to be just and noble, yet Odin often used trickery, deceit, and betrayal to achieve his goals. As an extremely ambitious god, he will use his wit and strategic mind to achieve whatever he wants, even if that means not playing by the rules. And so, he usually gets what he wants. As a strategist, Odin is a master of disguise. But more importantly, he likes to be incognito, observing his enemy or target from afar, or them being ignorant of who is standing before them. Often he wanders Midgard in secret, appearing as a tramp or an old grey-bearded traveler, think Gandalf, in a cloak and wide-brimmed hat, hiding his missing eye. At times, he even dresses as a woman to conceal his true identity. Odin carries a spear called Gungnir. It's crafted by dwarves, and it's Odin's chosen weapon, and also a symbol of his power. He also owns Draupnir, a golden ring that drips 8 new rings every 9th night. With such magic, Odin is never without wealth. And that's pretty convenient, not gonna lie. Odin can also transform into animals, and often seen as an eagle. And speaking of animals, Odin's consistent companions are his 2 ravens, Hugin and Munin. Hugin means thought and Munin means memory. Every morning he sends them out to fly across the realms, gathering secrets and whispers of the world. By evening, they return to sit upon his shoulders, murmuring everything they've seen and heard. Odin fears losing them, especially Munin. Odin also has 2 wolves, Geri and Freki. Their names means the greedy and the ravenous. At his feet they lie loyally, and also because I've heard that Odin shares his dinner with them. Now Odin lives in the realm Asgard, which is the home of the Aesir. The realm was built on a wide, open and fair plain of Ida, also called Idawol, invisible to mortals and separated from our world Midgard by the river Ifing. Yet the realm stays connected by the bridge Bifrost, which takes form as a rainbow. It is the Rainbow Bridge. On their land, the Aesir god built forges, homes, and halls. Among many is Odin's hall, Gladsheim, containing 12 high seats for the gods to take place at council. Then there's Odin's own home, which is Valaskjalf, a silver thatched tower, and here stands Odin's throne, Hilskjalf, from where he sees all things hidden and everything that happens in the 9 realms. But the most famous of his halls is Valhalla, the great hall where Odin welcomes the bravest fallen warriors. As a Viking, if you died during battle, you most likely go to Valhalla, if chosen by Odin. To be chosen by Odin was the greatest honor for a Viking. In Valhalla, warriors fight glorious battle all day long. At night, they rise again, whole and unbroken, to go to feast and drink all night long. As you can tell, Valhalla is the ultimate Viking paradise. They dine on the meat Seiðr, a magical boar reborn every morning, and drink endless meat flowing from the god Heidrun, who feeds on the branches of Yggdrasil, the world tree. Odin himself drinks only wine, feeding his food to his two wolves. Valhalla shines with gold. Its roof is built of spears and shields. It has 540 doors, and each wide enough for 800 warriors to march through at once. These chosen warriors are called the Einherjar, and when Ragnarok comes, the end of the world, they will rise to fight alongside Odin in the final battle. For Vikings, death in battle was not something to fear, it was a reward. It is even said that Odin, as a god of war, might support you in times of battle or war. If you had his favor, you would win the battle. If not, you will face defeat. Vikings would even throw a spear over the battlefield into the enemy's army as a symbol to Odin's spear Gungnir, to signal that they pledge them to Odin and intend to kill them and send them into Odin's hall. In that way, Odin is somehow always with you, whether he's the god of death or the god of war, which must have been a comforting thought for my ancestors. Don't you think? Odin had many romantic relationships and children. With Jord, also meaning earth, he fathered Thor, the god of thunder. With his wife Frigg, the goddess of marriage, he fathered Balder, Herder, and Hermod. With the giantess Grid, he fathered Vidar. With Rin in a darker tale, he fathered Vali, who would avenge the death of Balder. One of the most known stories about Odin is how he obtained the knowledge and magic of the runes. In order to do so, Odin sacrificed and hung himself in the world tree Yggdrasil. He hung there for 9 days and 9 nights, pierced by his spear Gungnir. He said, "Myself given to myself." And so on the 9th day, when he fell from the tree, he had gained the secret magic of the runes, knowledge he shared with humankind. The story about how Odin lost his one eye is also one of the most known. Odin sacrificed his one eye to obtain wisdom from Mima's well, which water gives inspiration and great knowledge to the one drinking it. And so in exchange, Mimir allowed him to drink from his well, and so, afterwards, Odin had the ability to see all hidden things and what had not yet come to pass. Odin is generally known for self-sacrifice in order to gain wisdom and magical powers. To him, wisdom is power, and it did not come by without sacrifice. And might I add, voluntarily painful sacrifice. He even learned Seiðr, a form of magic practiced by women, and as a man he risked shame. But Odin cared little about judgment. Wisdom is worth any price. To sum up, Odin is a powerful god, but does not let others to believe, as he likes to disguise himself. When he uses wit and strategic mind, he comes out as the strongest and superior god. He takes risks, even if it means not playing by the rules. He's willing to sacrifice his reputation, body, and life to obtain knowledge and magical powers. In other words, Odin is a bit intense. If you'd like to hear the story about the beginning of Norse mythology, check out my link in the description. Until our next tale, may Odin watch over you.